Now that we have gone through these two videos, I guess you must have learned a bit about what do you mean by DevOps, A, and second thing, where exactly DevOps fits into the software development life cycle. Okay. Uh, do you have any particular kind of doubts in during listening to these videos? Anything that you want me to explain a bit, or something that you have not understood? Anybody wants to talk or say something? Anything that you feel you have not understood, or anything you feel you want to say and confirm about what you have learned through these two videos?
No, sir.
Okay, that means everybody has understood what DevOps really means, right? So, Vivek, can you unmute yourself and tell us something about what exactly you feel is DevOps and what you expect that you would be learning when you learn things called as DevOps? Okay, Vivek, you can use any way of communication. मराठीत बोल, हिंदीत बोल, काही problem नाही.
येस डेव्हऑप्स ॲक्च्युली सर दोन फेजेस आहे ज्याच्यामध्ये पूर्ण सॉफ्टवेअर डेव्हलप होतं. डेव्हलपिंग अँड ऑपरेशन आर द सेपरेट पार्ट्स आहेत जे अटॅच होतात 1, 7, 8 प्रोसेसने अटॅच झालेले आहेत. प्लॅन, कोड, बिल्ड, टेस्ट, डेव्हलपमेंट, ऑपरेट अँड मॉनिटर या 8 प्रोसेसने मिळून पूर्ण डेव्हलपमेंट अँड ऑपरेशन अटॅच आहे.
Good.
फर्स्ट प्लॅनिंगमध्ये सर पहिल्यांदा पूर्ण सॉफ्टवेअर डेव्हलप करायच्या आधी त्याची पूर्ण प्लॅनिंग होते आणि नंतर त्याची कोडिंग. ओव्हरऑल कोडिंग सर 2 पार्ट्समध्ये असते त्याच्यावरती पूर्ण टीम वर्क करते. त्यानंतर बिल्ड अँड टेस्टिंग होते.
Okay, so good that you tried to summarize, Vivek. Anybody else want to say something about DevOps that maybe Vivek forgot to say? You want to add something to what Vivek said? Should I pick people, or somebody wants to speak on his own? Okay, Pawar Niket, can you tell us something about DevOps that you understand? Don't run away, because this discussion is very important. कारण आपण जर डिस्कस केलं नाही तर आपल्याला समजणार नाही आपल्याला काय शिकायचं आहे ते. ओके, सो मेक शुअर दॅट यू स्टे बॅक अँड यू टेक पार्ट इन द डिस्कशन. विदाउट टेकिंग पार्ट इन द डिस्कशन इट विल बी डिफिकल्ट टू रिअलाइज व्हॉट एक्झॅक्टली वी आर गोइंग टू लर्न, आणि ते लर्न आपल्याला का करायचं आहे. ओके, इज देवकर संकेत हिअर?
Yes, sir.
या, कॅन यू ॲड समथिंग? What exactly you feel DevOps is? जे तुला समजलंय ते through these two videos or whatever understanding you already have. Okay, go ahead.
विवेकने सांगितल्यानंतर ते टेस्टिंग नंतर ते सॉफ्टवेअर ऑपरेशन टीमकडे जातं. ऑपरेशन टीम सर्व्हरला हे करते, कनेक्ट करते आणि त्यानंतर ते मेंटेनन्स फेजमध्ये जातं.
बरोबर. थोडक्यात डेव्हऑप्स हे नुसतंच सॉफ्टवेअर डेव्हलपमेंटशी कन्सर्न नाहीये, तर सॉफ्टवेअर डेव्हलपमेंट प्लस रिलीजशी कन्सर्न आहे, आणि त्यातल्या त्यात रिलीज असा पाहिजे जो कंटिन्युअस रिलीज होतो. सो CD, continuous development, and CI, continuous integration. So CI and CD, continuous delivery and continuous integration, these are the two key aspects of DevOps. Okay, so DevOps are set of software tools that supports this continuous integration and continuous delivery. कंटिन्युअस इंटिग्रेशन म्हणजे काय, माझ्या जे सॉफ्टवेअरमध्ये चेंजेस करायचे आहेत ते मी I should be able to quickly identify those changes. I should be quickly fix those changes, and I should quickly update my deliverable quickly. So that is the integration part. So continuous integration part. I should be इन्व्हॉल्विंग. याच्यात 2-3 गोष्टी आहेत. एक म्हणजे इन्व्हॉल्वमेंट ऑफ पीपल फ्रॉम डिफरंट सायलोज. जो सायलोजचा शब्दाचा अर्थ काय, डिफरंट यूज केसेस. म्हणजे काही डेव्हलपर्स असतात, काही कोडर्स असतात, काही टेस्टर्स असतात, काही फक्त रिस्पॉन्सिबल असतात मेंटेनन्ससाठी. सो या सगळ्या टीमला एकत्र घेऊन त्याचा यूज करून मला जे माझं सॉफ्टवेअर प्रोडक्ट डेव्हलप करायचं आहे ते क्विकली इंटिग्रेट कसं होईल and how it is going to be continuously delivered. So continuous integration refers to integrating newer changes seamlessly into the build of the software and creating that build sooner than otherwise it would require you to do the updates. Whereas continuous delivery refers to once I have a quick build with me, जसं संकेत म्हणाला मला ते सर्व्हरवर टाकायला लागतं. सर्व्हरवर म्हणजे दरवेळी काही सर्व्हरच असेल असं नाही. I may have some way of delivering my software, so that delivery candidate or that delivery end point पर्यंत माझं सॉफ्टवेअर पोहोचलं पाहिजे. So if you are talking about a website, then it will be a server, sure, for sure. So whatever changes I'm making in my build environment should be quickly integrated into the production environment. And this word production environment refers to the actual environment where the product is running. मग ते जर ऍप्लिकेशन सॉफ्टवेअर असेल, वेब बेस्ड नसेल पण ऍप्लिकेशन सॉफ्टवेअर असेल तर ते क्लायंटच्या त्या पर्टिक्युलर प्लेसेसमध्ये जाऊन, फिजिकल लोकेशन्समध्ये जाऊन, किंवा जर क्लायंटनी काही क्लाउड बेस्ड इम्प्लिमेंटेशन आपलं जर असेल तर त्याच्या त्या होस्ट्समध्ये जाऊन ते सॉफ्टवेअर तिथे व्यवस्थितरित्या इन्स्टॉल करून रेडी करून दिलं पाहिजे. सो दॅट इज दी कंटिन्युअस डिलिव्हरी side of DevOps. So DevOps resides in two distinct sides of software development operation. DevOps tools, they are referred to as not a suite but DevOps tools. So DevOps tools are having two distinct places where they show off themselves. One is where you come across continuous integration, that is the development cycle, and the operation cycle means the continuous delivery. So I should be able to deliver my software continuously. As they also said many a times in this video as well as the previous video, they were talking about automating lot of activities in the development as well as the maintenance phase, especially in maintenance cycle and integration phase. Okay, Jenkins किंवा the softwares like JUnit test or Selenium, these are automation. These are things which are automizing the way you test your code. Some of you, while you were developing your mini project last semester, you must have come across people asking you, the examiners asking you questions. Have you tested your code? Have you written any test or done any test? Have you found out any bugs? Have you corrected those bugs? So whenever you are developing a software, finding out bugs in the developed software and identifying those is a very important criteria to give a quality product, to make your software of a higher quality, such that not only it will not have any issues in executing itself, but if there are any logical issues with the software, they can also be curtailed with. So testing is one of the important portion of your development cycle, and a lot of time is invested by many software development agencies in testing the software that the developer teams create. Now, whenever you're doing these things separately, that is the development, the testing, as well as the operations or the production level workflows separately on separate locations, physically apart from each other, or maybe in the same complex, but on a different, you have employed different teams. There are a lot of issues with one team is working in a specific specific environment, specific kind of software environment, wherein certain things are automatically loaded for them. For instance, if I'm working with a Python project and I'm coding for Python and I require certain libraries to be installed before my software runs, and I, as a developer team, already have that particular API installed in my environment, then whenever I'm running the software, or maybe my software is very large as far as the line of codes are concerned, it can run into say lakhs of lines of code, and this one simple include statement creates a very much problem when it goes to testing. Okay, because just because the testing environment does not have that particular API installed automatically already, because it was never used in any of the prior tested softwares. So this testing team will actually create this as a major bug, and then it will send back the software that आपका software नहीं चालू. Then you need to figure out why this happened and what exactly went wrong, and this was a very simple mistake. So if I have a mechanism where the environment wherein I make the software, exactly the same environment can be replicated when you are testing as well as when you are deploying, or rather in reverse way, my deployment environment can be simulated in the testing phase, at the time of testing phase, or at the time of development phase. It will be really a better option, because now the developer team as well as the testing team will understand what exactly goes into the release phase, is what is tested and is what that is developed. So this is the importance of DevOps tools, because DevOps tools allow you to automate creation of such sandbox environments, which are very much representative of the production environment to the developer team. So developer team will have a sandbox to test their code in order to understand how the code would actually behave when it goes to production. Okay, so creating this sandbox only for testing a small portion is definitely not a worth thing. But if I have this sandbox created throughout my development life cycle, then the things would speed up. The development of the properly generated, properly written code will be definitely very good. And that's why these software that we are going to learn as part of the DevOps lab that we are learning, these software are part of different kinds of, or they show off different phases of DevOps cycle. So they are applicable to different phases of, I should say, DevOps cycles. So today what we tried to understand was, what are the exactly phases in a DevOps cycle? What does DevOps philosophy is? How this DevOps philosophy relates to the agile development model, which is popular today, because today is the time where marketing your product in a stipulated time before your competition is very much a success factor, where these particular things are very much important. So please understand why this subject is there in your syllabus and what exactly you are supposed to learn in this particular subject. That is the whole idea of today's session. Now we'll just go through the syllabus of both the subjects, the DevOps as well as advanced DevOps, and what exactly we are supposed to learn in very brief manner, not in a lengthy manner. So I'll be making sure that we finish off within 10 minutes looking at the syllabus, because syllabus you must have already had a look at even before we actually get to see. So now what exactly we are doing in DevOps syllabus. So this is my DevOps syllabus. Is it visible to you? ITL 503 DevOps lab. Okay, fine, thank you. So we have 6 modules as usual. We should know in beforehand few of these things which we already know. We need to know a bit about operations of Linux operating system, procedure of installing and configuring services on Linux operating system, use with command line. We should be familiar with use of command line based access. Basic networking concept should be clear to you, and you should know software development lifecycle. That is what I tried to cover in first few minutes in order to give the perspective of what is DevOps. Now this first module itself gives you a brief idea about what is DevOps and what exactly we try to achieve in DevOps. Okay, we'll have some more videos on this so that you can understand exactly what DevOps means and where exactly these softwares are going to help me doing things. Especially we talked today about cross-functional teams. We said that the testers and the the testing teams as well as the development teams should work hand in hand in order to produce a good viable product. Okay, and minimum viable product is something like a prototype. So they said that rather than creating a complete software, it is better to create a prototype, so that looking at the prototype, your client would be in a more appropriate position to understand and realize what exactly his requirements are, because identifying requirements is a very much key aspect of any software development. अगर वही properly identification process में आप कमजोर हो, आपकी टीम कमजोर है या आपका client कमजोर है to understand his own requirements, then the whole waterfall cycle collapses, and that is what exactly we saw also in the video. Okay, so we'll be having much more discussion on this in upcoming sessions through some short videos or through some sort of discussion. So the next thing that we need to understand is, what do you mean by Scrum team, SCRUM Scrum team? What do you mean by Kanban, and what do you mean by Agile methodology? So Agile is there in your software engineering syllabus as well. It is a development life cycle for software development, which is a very different approach than the usual approach of software development lifecycle using the age-along waterfall model and the other things. Okay, so we'll keep learning about this first module again and again. Every time we meet, few new things we'll try to learn. Now, the second important aspect of the DevOps cycle was being able to do version control. Now, this version control is a very important thing, and you must have also realized when you did certain projects yourself that if I had maintained version of my software, I could have really easily go back to an earlier version of software which had less amount of bugs than the current version, and maybe from there I could have picked up my development. किसी टीम को, मुझे याद है मेरे पास कोई प्रोजेक्ट थे पिछले सेमेस्टर में, उसमें मैंने कुछ चेंजेस करने को बोला था, and possibly they tried to do the changes, but in doing so they lost their previous version. They said that their code was working fine earlier, but now it is not working fine. Now, whenever such scenarios come in picture, it should always be noted or understood that if you would have used any sort of software to keep the versions of your developed software, then you could have easily gone back to the other version, use that code for showing your product, and then say, okay, this is what we have done with partial success, not the entire success, but yes, this version was working, and I'm not saying just for the sake, see, this version is working. So that is what comes as a version control system. Important software which was developed by the person who created Linux Torvalds. I don't remember his name. Linus uska naam hai. He actually developed this software called as Git, Git. Okay, and this particular is a version control system. Okay, we are going to learn about or use this version control system in DevOps in a standalone manner, but technically it is a distributed version control system. So we should be able to use this version control system in a distributed environment where people are seamlessly trying to update a single piece of document. So version control system doesn't apply only to code, but it also applies to any document or any body of data that you have or that you want to store in a central place, and multiple users can use it as well as update it simultaneously. So that is what is generally referred to as a version control system. I can have a version control system installed on my machine as a standalone system, but it is way much more better used or better exploited. Its characteristics are better exploited when I have a distributed version system. Is Git the only distributed version system? No. There are other version systems like which mentioned over there as self-study topics, which are called as Mercurial, Subversion, Bitbucket, and CVS. Some version systems come packed with the Linux operating system like CVS, okay, centralized version control system, or Subversion and Mercurial you can install. Bitbucket is a distributed version control system, just like GitHub. So if you must have heard a website called as GitHub, and many of you might have taken advantage of going to GitHub and getting the code of other person. Now we formally will understand how we can use GitHub, okay, to actually do a lot of things which are related to version control. okay, and which will make us work seamlessly in a multi-person, geographically distinct teams. Okay, so that is version control, which we will be learning in second module of our subject. The third module is about continuous integration. As I told you, DevOps is basically having tools in two different phases of software development. One is related to integration and the other is related to deployment. So if you see module number 3 and module number 4, they talk about tools which help you do continuous integration and which help you do continuous testing. So you'll be talking about some understanding of Jenkins, which allows you to do continuous integration of your code, as well as you will be also learning about continuous testing through Selenium. So Selenium is a tool that helps you create or automate your software testing workflow. Okay, and that how it exactly does that is what we are going to learn in this particular topic called as module number 4, continuous testing with Selenium. Next thing that we are going to learn in module 5 is about continuous deployment, and here actually we will be understanding what do you mean by containerization. So we know that you must have heard this word some or the other time called as sandbox environment. Okay, what does sandbox environment means? Sandbox environment means you can pull that environment up from some other place, place it to your host machine, and you can start working with the environment. Okay, it's like a container in which all the required softwares, all the required APIs, all the required configurations are already made up for you. You just need to pull that up to your host, and you just need to start it as if it's a machine inside your machine, like a virtual machine, and you get the exact environment which the intended recipient wanted you to have. So sandbox is an environment. So the containerization is the ultimate thing about sandboxing. So you'll be actually creating a complete container that will have operating system layers as well as the layers of APIs, application softwares, plus some configuration files, everything into a one single capsule like structure, which is generally referred to as container. Because the container, like in docks that you see, the huge container, they house lot of things, and one container looks very much similar to the other container, but inside it may be totally different from each other. Okay, and once I have a container, I can just copy that container to my host machine and I can start building and working with the product. Now when we were talking about प्रोडक्शन एनवायरनमेंट को डेवलपर को दिखाना चाहिए या डेवलपर को मालूम होना चाहिए प्रोडक्शन एनवायरनमेंट कैसा है, या डेवलपमेंट एनवायरनमेंट शुड बी टेकन टू प्रोडक्शन व्हाइल रिलीजिंग द कोड. सो डॉकर and containerization helps you doing it. So Docker is just one containerization application which is very much popular nowadays, and in advanced DevOps labs we'll see that how these Docker applications can be centrally placed, and you can deliver a lot of different you can do a lot of different things with these Dockers. Okay, so continuous deployment, that is containerization with Docker, is the module number 5. And the last thing that we talk about is continuous deployment, CD, the CD part of the deployment. It talks about the configuration management. How do you automate the configuration management using a software tool called as Puppet? So Puppet will do what? It will actually allow you to create some sort of a script using which you can design how your host will have particular structure, how your host will have particular operating system, particular software is installed, particular drivers in it. All these things can be written as a script, and once you run the script, the Puppet master or the software which is actually running that Puppet script will actually, like Puppet क्या होता है, वो ये होता है ना कठपुतली, तो कठपुतली के स्ट्रिंग जैसे पुल होते हैं, वैसे ही वो स्क्रिप्ट रन होगा. तब जो भी इन्वायरमेंट आपको चाहिए, जो भी कॉन्फ़िगरेशन आपको चाहिए, that configuration is going to get generated for you. Okay, so Puppet philosophy is that you actually write up the script for the configuration that you require, and these scripts will be orchestrated when the Puppet master runs, and you will get the desired configuration ready. So I can have a Puppet software installed on my machine, and if I actually want to preserve the configuration that I currently have, I should preserve it using some